scope of the devastation just unimaginable. We are here tonight in Mayfield, Kentucky. That is the first Christian church that you see right here behind me. More than a century old, the entire brick wall and roof torn off. And as you can see there, the organ now exposed to the sky. The tornado that hit here, part of a tornadic supercell that carved a path more than 200 miles long. And one of at least 34 tornadoes reported across 8 states now. A very rare December outbreak, at least 90 lives feared lost. But they are not giving up hope here tonight that they will find some of those people who are still missing. Crews are still combing the records for survivors in what is the deadliest tornado outbreak in this nation in more than a decade. Here in Mayfield, the county courthouse. Take a look tonight at the center of town, hollowed out, the clock tower also gone. The largest loss of life at the candle factory here in Mayfield, now flattened. Workers on the late shift trying to fill orders in time for Christmas when the tornado hit. Many trapped, waiting hours to be rescued. Heavy equipment digging through the rubble. A number of people still unaccounted for tonight. The governor here saying it'll be a miracle if anyone else is found alive. But what he told me just moments ago, my interview with the governor, right here in a moment. At least 2 people killed in northeast Arkansas, a nursing home hit, where aides used their own bodies to shield the residents. At an Amazon warehouse in Edwardsville, Illinois, several people are confirmed dead. The newly built structure made of steel and concrete still too weak to protect everyone inside. And in Bowling Green, Kentucky, much of the Jennings Creek subdivision destroyed. Cars tossed everywhere. At least 12 people were killed in Bowling Green. An EF3 tornado winds 155 miles per hour. But alongside those images of unspeakable damage, images of stunning grace. Neighbors helping neighbors. We saw it firsthand today. Strangers compelled to help however they can. And at this hour, as the sun sets here in Mayfield, Kentucky, our drone camera capturing images of the heavily damaged church right here behind me. But yet the congregation still finding a way to gather. And what the pastor said right here today. We have been so moved by the people here, their strength, but there are many difficult days ahead. Tonight, the harrowing images from above, revealing the devastating scope here, the aftermath of this catastrophic tornado outbreak. At least 34 reported tornadoes tearing through at least 8 states. Several dead here in Kentucky. We're late today here, the governor describing the historic nature of this disaster.
This is Kentucky's most devastating tornado event in our history. We have lost far too many of our brothers and sisters. The damage is devastating. Entire blocks, more than one block, with nothing standing. To the people of America, there is no lens big enough to show you the extent of the damage here in Graves County or in Kentucky.
Here in Mayfield, Kentucky, they're downtown devastated, taking a direct hit. Large buildings gutted. The First Presbyterian Church destroyed. The courthouse, the clock tower ripped off. Homes, neighborhoods leveled. Street after street, we see it. The homes wiped away. Rooftops gone. The sides of homes torn off. Bedrooms, living rooms exposed. The second floor of this home open to the sky. This was a candle factory where several workers on the overnight shift were killed. Some 110 workers were inside when the tornado hit. They were working into the night, helping to fulfill orders in time for Christmas.
Nobody can get to us. The whole building fell. We are stuck.
One of the employees, Kiana Parsons Perez, trapped, posting this video, pleading for help.
Please, y'all, pray for us. Try to get somebody to come and help us.
They would reach Kiana and pull her from the rubble.
Hey, y'all, they get me out.
The fire chief here describing rescuers crawling over the dead to get to the survivors.
We had to, at times, crawl over casualties to get to live victims, to get them out, and mark those casualties as we work our way through the rubble.
At least 40 workers have been rescued, including Jamarian Hart, who was rushed to the hospital.
My main focus was just try to make sure I can, savor every breath I was able to take in and watch my breathing. I kept hearing people around me yell, "This person has died, this person's not responding."
First responders remain at the scene, carefully combing combing through what is left, the desperate search for survivors, using search dogs to help find those who might still be trapped. The governor today acknowledging it will be a miracle if they find anyone else. We have seen the devastation firsthand here in neighborhood after neighborhood, nearly every home destroyed. You can really see the destruction just about, everywhere you look here. And in fact, you go home to home and you see the same marking, a spray painted C on the front of the home. This one completely sheared off by the tornado. Obviously they've marked cleared since there's nobody inside. Authorities going home to home to check for people. As we walk down the streets lined with downed wires and crushed cars, the mattresses, the bedrooms exposed everywhere. You can see the mattress, the bedroom wall ripped right off of this house. This is a picture repeated over and over again. And of course these hit right in the middle of the night. And inside that home, Tina Snyder, a grandmother, hovering over her 2 grandchildren, 3 years old and 14 months, and a niece, protecting all 3 of them.
We just grabbed everybody and we just hunkered in a corner. I put my niece down and my 2 grandchildren down and we just hovered over them, holding on. And it was, I don't want to do it again, ever, so.
Holding on for dear life, right?
Yeah.
Tina takes us inside her home to show us what little remains. Her bedroom, open to the outdoors.
This is where my baby would have been sleeping.
And yet, in her living room, the Christmas tree and the presents untouched. Tina, it's really something. I mean, your Christmas tree is about the only thing still standing in the house.
Yeah.
Just down the street, James Moore, a father protecting his children in a closet under the stairs.
I don't know how to describe it. It just sounded like a freight train coming through. You could hear stuff being ripped off. It was scary.
The whole top of the house is gone.
Yeah. The whole top. We was pretty blessed. Could have been a lot worse.
You got your Mayfield Cardinals sweatshirt
Yes.
on.
It's about all I had left. What I had on that night.
Inside his home. Wow. All the walls ripped off the house.
On both sides.
It's just incredible. And you can see none of the homes in the neighborhood are even standing. And we notice the message sitting among the debris. Stay home, stay safe. This is where his family huddled to survive.
Wasn't none even really touched in there, so we just pretty lucky.
There is so much need here, it is overwhelming. And we meet the young people bringing food. You guys were all okay, and then you get out and start driving around and you just saw it.
Yeah, like was mentioned before, I mean, we missed it by half a mile. I mean, it could have destroyed everything we got, so we feel like it's our duty to come out here and help the people that were affected by this, obviously.
Well, glad you're okay. I'm glad you're doing that.
What can we do?
This could very well be the deadliest tornado outbreak to strike the U.S. in more than a decade. It's believed one tornadic supercell carving a path of destruction more than 200 miles long across 4 states, at times 3/4 of a mile wide. At least 4 of the tornadoes were so powerful they were EF3s, confirmed across 3 states. Bowling Green, Kentucky, hit with winds up to 155 miles per hour. The death toll mounting tonight, at least 6 dead at this Amazon warehouse in Edwardsville, Illinois. That tornado with winds of 155 miles per hour too. At least 2 dead in Arkansas, a tornado hitting a nursing home. Tonight, President Biden declaring a federal emergency and promising help.
I say to all the victims, you're in our prayers, and all those first responders, emergency personnel, and everyone helping their fellow Americans, that this is the right thing to do at the right time, and we're going to get through this.
And back in this Mayfield neighborhood tonight, Keena Nooner telling me she and her aunt both survived, even though the top of their home is gone. She tells me she is grateful to the man who helped rescue her.
Some gentleman came through and brought me out.
Do you know his name?
Roy LaBelle.
You got his name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if Roy's watching, what do you say to him?
I love you and thank you. It's just, I'm really thankful for everybody that's stepping out helping at a time like this.
And we noticed something, her resilience. I can see it on your face how hard this is.
Yeah, very.
But you're here.
I'm here. I'm alive.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's pretty remarkable you're smiling too.
yeah.
Yeah. It speaks volumes. We are just so glad that she and her aunt survived this, and she remembers the name